Welcome to the Bigger Room Podcast. I'm your host, Jill Bender.
And I'm Mel Covian, and right now it's starting to warm up. It's spring, it's beautiful outside. And what does that mean, Jill? What do we do during springtime?
Well, spring is not everybody's favorite season. Usually summer gets the praise. Fall has, warm coffee drinks and flannel shirts and jeans, and everybody gets excited about that. I have always loved spring, and people would always make fun of me for it, but I love spring because people start coming out of their house. Everybody starts getting happier. The sun is shining more. You can get that fresh air. You can get that vitamin D, and I love spring. But right now, we have a very unusually warm and early spring here. I'm in the Chicagoland area, and we are not supposed to be kayaking and biking in the end of February and March. So this is the perfect time. Mel brought this episode idea, and we definitely want to get this to you guys now because we're going to see an early spring and an even earlier summer.
Yeah.
What's this episode about, Mel?
So this episode, we're going to talk about spring cleaning, specifically purging, because every item in your house, every item in front of you holds energy, whether you believe that or not, it does. And spring cleaning is exactly that. People usually think about, I need to dust everything, I need to wash things. But we're going to talk about it in a deeper level because your environment, right, when we introduced the Bigger Room and some of the things that we wanted to talk about, one of the pillars of life is your environment. If your environment is a mess, and we need to declutter, we need to organize, we need to stop hoarding. Or my favorite thing is having a drawer full of paper clips or that one pen that's been sitting there for years. Go throw it away. So it really is about getting a little bit raw with purging and maybe why we're not letting go, and could it really make a difference in your life if you actually approached this year's spring cleaning with the intention of cleansing your environment to serve you and your goals. So
now, before we get into it, did you grow up with a junk drawer in your house? Was it called a junk drawer? Does anybody have a junk drawer? Please let me know.
Yeah,
I did. And I've been to other people's houses, and either they have one and they know exactly what I'm talking about, and they usually laugh because we have a junk drawer. Or there's other people that are like, no, why would I have a junk drawer? I'm like, why wouldn't you? It's the best collector. But it also holds treasures.
Yes, no, we have a junk drawer.
Going like when you're my son does this all the time now that he's at this age, and he has a junk drawer in his room, and he's been just digging through everything, and it is like little hidden treasures. Like, oh my goodness, I forgot I owned this, or I forgot about that. It's kind of fun to watch him get excited about it. And I remember doing that when I was younger too. Like, I love digging through the junk drawer, and maybe you'll find a quarter in there. Maybe you won't. Maybe you'll find a pen.
That's funny. Just imagine going in like to your friend's house and be like, hey, can I see your junk drawer? And then they pull it out, and it's like the most random stuff in there. That would be, I mean, I guess that's one way to really get to know somebody. Their hidden treasures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think mine's kind of boring right now. It has like rubber bands and now I go through it probably like maybe every other year. I will clean that one out because it's sort of stuff you need. But then when you really go in there, you're like, why the hell am I saving this? This the stupidest like zip tie or something, like still haven't used it, don't need it.
So that's the example that I talked about. Like, you have like all these random stuff in there that you could probably get like throw away because it's been sitting there for so many years. But most importantly, when it's with spring cleaning, right? People dust, people wash stuff, but It's more of the actual hoarding. Like you talk about the cool side of it, like the little hidden treasures, the little things that probably remind you of your son that you just can't let go of. But if you look at items like, is this item serving me? Right? Everybody take a look around right now, like to the left, to the right. Is there something that automatically triggers you? Is there junk? Is there stuff on the floor? Are there books that maybe just need to be organized? That right there can have an effect on your mindset, because subconsciously, just looking at it, your brain knows at some point I need to organize that. So then we procrastinate and we never get to it. And so just looking at it is already causing anxiety.
I have the perfect example right now. On this desk that I'm sitting at, there is my son's winter hat. And I just talked about how it's been nice out. Like, he wore shorts to school the other day, and this winter hat is sitting here staring at me. I'm like, I gotta put that away. And it's not even that I'm procrastinating on it. It's that I will get up from this and I'll completely forget about it until I'm sitting here talking to you again. And I'm like, God damn it, that hat's still sitting here. You know, I'm going to move that hat right now. And I'm going to put it away, so I can't miss it when I get out of here.
Yeah. And it's just,
I all have those items.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And it's more of just actually inviting the purging, because this might be a little bit sensitive to people. Getting rid of, I mean, we've all seen maybe some of the episodes of hoarding, right? And I think we all have some sort of attachment to our stuff. And I'm not saying, hey, go be a minimalist, right? But looking at items in front of you from a place of, is this piece of whatever serving me, or is it hindering me? Am I not maybe going for my walkout today because I have to, organize this, but then you never do? And it's just like, let's invite that conversation today of really being intentional with the spring cleaning and purging. Have you ever, is there anyone in your family, Jill, that you would say is like a hoarder?
Okay, I will tell you this. I have an aunt and uncle, and they own their own business. They've been antiquers. Like, that was how they came together. That's ever since they got married. And so I really learned at a young age to appreciate a lot of older things. I have appreciated them. And I was collecting some of my stuff because it had no value at the time that I had it. But I knew when I'm like 40, people are looking for this. Like, I have a bike from when I was younger, and I put it on Facebook Marketplace. The tires are rotted out. I mean, they are rotted out. They're flat. They're super, super rotted. And I put it on Facebook last year. I was like, my dad gave it to me. It was in the shed forever. And he's like, it's time for you to take this. You have your own house, And I'm like, I'm not saving it. I'm not saving anything anymore. I have no interest in keeping any of this stuff. And I'm like, all right, fine, I'll just throw it on there. $250 is what I asked. I had about 30 messages in less than 10 minutes. Everybody's like, I'll come get it right now. I'll come get it right now. I'm like, oh crap, what did I do? And some guy, he was like number 30 that messaged me. And I said, hey, yeah, I have like 30 people in front of you. I can tell you, I definitely am not going to have it by the time I get to you. So sorry, I don't even know why I replied to him first. And he said, yeah, you listed that bike so cheap. That's why you have 30 people in front of me. He's like, you should have listed it for about $1,000. I'm like, are you kidding me? He's like, no, then you could probably even list it for $1,500. And I'm like, shit. He said, delete the listing. Just don't even sell it.
Don't sell it.
I mean, wait. Yeah. And I'm like, thank you so much. And he's like, yeah, no problem. And
yeah, that's a good guy.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I really appreciated him. And I told him that. And why was I telling you this story? But okay, so my family, I had, I appreciated older items. But my whole family does. And they've made my aunt and uncle, they made a business out of it. They clean out houses. They get paid for cleaning out houses, and then they sell stuff on eBay. And there's cool ass stories that my uncle has told me. Like the second phone that Alexander Graham Bell had ever made, they found in a basement. I mean, stuff like crazy cool finds. Yeah, it's so awesome. I love the stories.
Wow.
There's a bunch of stories like that. Mm-hmm. But I don't remember what the name of the brand of the teddy bear is. The first one that came out, like the Teddy Roosevelt Days or whatever. They had found one of the teddy bears, but like the eye was missing, the stuffing was all gone, the material, like the soft furry was so matted and disgusting. It just looked like a rag at this point. But they have the eye for this, and they knew that this was, one of the originals from whatever the company was. And he's like, whatever, I'll throw it on eBay. He'd started really cheap with allowing people to bid. And the next morning, I think he had sold, like it ended up, he did like a 3-day sale or whatever, but he went down and checked it the next morning, and it was already at like $1,500 before. With
wow.
Rag. And I don't know what he ended up selling it for. I can't remember. Yeah. And so people buy that, and then they'll get it restuffed and make it nice and everything. But yes, a lot of cool stuff. So I was really big into that. But now, I was just telling Mel before we got on, I saved all this stuff thinking it would have value as it got older, and some of it has. But I definitely lost that passion of, being able to sell any of it for a good price. I don't really even want to go after that anymore. And a lot of it I saved for when I had kids. And now I have a kid, and some of the stuff he has no interest in, or I'm a girl and he's a boy and he doesn't want like Care Bears or whatever I got, from when I was little, and it was girl stuff. And I had to step back and look at it. It was probably in the last 5 years, I'd say, where I'm like, who am I saving this for now? Like I already hit that milestone in my life where this is the kid I was waiting for. And if that stuff has no interest to him, I'm like, why
hold on to it?
Clutter up my space.
Yeah.
So I've been purging like crazy.
Wow. And do you ever feel any resistance, or are you can get pretty raw, like with yourself with, Joe, what are you doing? You don't need this. Donate it or give it away, sell it.
My hardest part right now, I definitely don't feel like I get resistance from my family a little bit, actually.
Interesting.
Yeah, like my brother thinks I sell everything, and he doesn't want me to have anything from like the family stuff. He's like, well, Jill's just going to sell it. She's just going to sell it. I'm like, actually, I give a shit about it now. I don't even want to, it's not worth my time to sell it. It's not going to make me a millionaire. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
But no, I don't really feel like I have, maybe a little tiny resistance will pop in my head. Like, you've saved this for so long. Why is it bothering you now? Or, the hardest part that I have, I just donated this Mickey Mouse, like dancing Christmas Mickey Mouse. I literally just donated it today.
Oh, wow.
And and I brought it to Goodwill. Like, this is the hardest part I had with it is that I bought that when my son was little, and it's old. Like, I think it's from like when I was younger. So it's from like the 80s or 90s. And I remember paying like $35 for it, which was a lot for a used, stupid singing Christmas thing. And I drove far to get it, and I got it, and he doesn't even work that well. And I'm sick of him. And my son's not into Mickey anymore, and it's just, I don't love it. It's not that cute. I'm like, what do I do with it? I don't want to sell it. I don't want to go through the trouble of selling this. Like, I'm fucking donating it. Like, I'm done. I don't want to hold on anymore. So when I brought it to Goodwill today, I had a bunch of stuff. I put it all in the bin, and the guy was out there. I'm like, this thing is actually like an antique, and I don't really want it broken. I don't want to shove it in the bin. Do you have somewhere that you can put it that's not going to get all broken? He's like, sure. I'm like, sure, okay, like whatever. It's out of my hands.
He's like thinking about it anymore. He's like, lady, once you leave, I'm gonna throw that thing.
I'm gonna kick it across the room.
Yeah. Oh gosh,
That's the hard part, is that a lot of the stuff I do know is valuable, but I don't want to take the time to do anything with it.
right.
I'm willing to donate it. Of course, I'm not going to throw it out, but I don't really know that donating is the best place for it.
Yeah.
And it makes me feel bad. It makes me feel bad. Like I should just put it on Facebook and say, if somebody wants this, come get it. But I also don't want to go through that trouble either. And that's one thing of decluttering. That thing's been staring at me since Christmas. And like, it's got to go. I got to get rid of it now.
Yeah. So the fact that, and it's gone. So you've been thinking about getting rid of it for almost 3 months now. And today you actually went. How did, but like finally, I know it seems like it was a little bit of an emotional roller coaster to get rid of it. But now that it's gone, do you feel like your headspace is clear?
Yeah. The stuff it was sitting with, I had jumped off a pile of stuff. I don't have to look at that anymore. I do. I love getting rid of the stuff. I do feel so much better. It does.
Yeah.
We can think better.
Yeah, because stuff has energy, and if it's just sitting there, or you know that there's no purpose for it, and it's just, again, just items physically sitting there, take up energy because you're looking at it. And there might be emotions attached to it, like there were in this case, whether subconsciously, whether you knew it or not. Every time you looked at that Mickey Mouse, like clearly something was going on. So maybe there's that one item that is holding you back, just emotionally, or just making you feel some type of way. But I wanted to talk about this. So this is like deeper purging, which is like actually going through your pantry and cleaning out all the stuff that has expired. There's one time we were at my in-laws' house. Gosh, and my wife listens to this, she's gonna kill me. And there was stuff there that like expired like 10 years ago, and my wife just like opened everything up and just literally like cleaned up like half the pantry of stuff that like expired a long time ago. So I don't know, I just thought that was really funny.
That's even funny that you brought that up, because me and another person in the program, I just called her on, I made chicken fajitas, and I haven't made them in years, and I normally make Spanish rice with it. Like, that's how I've always served it. And I don't really eat a lot of rice anymore, but like, I might have Spanish rice. I don't remember when I would have bought it, but I might have it. It might be like a year old. It's fine. I just don't pick that. I dig in the pantry, and I normally buy the boxed Spanish rice. I don't know who makes it, like Rice-A-Roni, or no, I don't think it's Rice-A-Roni. Who cares?
You buy the white people's version of Spanish rice.
Probably. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one I don't like, and there's one I do like, and they come in boxes. But this one was a bag. Like, do you know those little like cheap, like 99-cent bag?
Yeah.
Flavored rice.
Yeah.
I don't buy those. So I kept thinking, I don't know how it got in there, but I had a roommate, but I haven't had a roommate in a good 5 or 6 years. Like,
oh God,
did she buy this? I mean, it's fine. I'm still gonna make it. And so when I went to set it on the counter, I could feel the base of it was very stiff. I'm like, all right, fine, I'll look at it. Yeah, the sell by date was like 2020, I think. So
nice.
Quite 10 years, but it was 2020 for sure. And so that means she probably bought it in like 2019, because rice lasts forever. And I'm like, 2020 is a stretch for me. I'm not starving here, so I'm gonna throw it out. And then I gotta tell you this too. Same night, I'm digging through, and I had bought, Snyder's pretzel. They sell those pretzel pieces. They're like pretzel bites or whatever, and they're just like pieces of it, and they flavor it with things.
Yeah.
I bought buffalo flavor, and it was a few months ago in my head, and I chickened out eating them. I'm like, what if they're just straight buffalo flavor? I don't want straight buffalo flavor. Do you dip them in ranch? Like, what do you do with these? Like, I'll bring in my brothers for a night of, we always have food at my brother's. I'm like, I'll bring them over there. Everybody will have some. Then I don't have to think about them. So this was, again, Saturday night. And I pulled the bag out. I'm like, God damn it, I'm never going to bring these over there. They've been in here for like 3 months at least. Like, I'm never going to bring these over if I don't pull them out. I'll pull them out right now. I pulled it out, and it felt like it had no air in the bag. Like, did it get popped? And now it's like sucked in. It was weird. Like, what's the date on these? I know chips go bad, but we used to jump in the Frito-Lay dumpster because it was right near my neighborhood. And it was like a little grab and go kind of thing. We'd climb over the fence and fucking run.
Oh my God.
I almost did. I never actually did it. I would be on the lookout because I just couldn't go through it. It was too much pressure for me. But we would get the chips out of the dumpster, and they were brand new bags, but they always had to throw them out because it hit that sell-by date. And they're good, but they were never popped or anything. They're good. So I'm like, all right, let me just check the data. Those freaking things, the sell-by date on it was 2022. I'm like, I swear to God, I only had them sitting in there a few months. It's been 2 years that I've been saying, I'm going to bring those over to my brothers.
Are you kidding me?
2 years went by. It was crazy. Like, yeah, what else?
Wow.
Cabinets. Apparently, I don't really go in them very often.
So for 2 years, you've let a bag of pretzels dictate your life, Jill.
Yeah, just weighing on me. Every time I saw them, every time I looked at them, like, damn, I should bring over there again.
Wow. So you guys, if Jill clearly can let a bag of chips be living in her subconscious mind for 2 years, there's definitely something that we could all take away this spring purging. And I just want to touch base on 2 other pillars of life that we could purge on this spring. And I want to talk about your phone or your desktop. When's the last time that you deleted stuff from your phone that's just taking up space, or your desktop? For us, we work from our phone and our computer, so I know that a lot of the footage on my phone is basically videos of me. But
yeah, I was just smiling at her.
Yeah. But it's still unorganized, and I've been a lot better with organizing folders and, creating folders for every single month. But I recently cleaned my desktop, and that did wonders for my mind. It was a lot of work. Yeah. What about you? How's your desktop?
Well, on my phone, as I say, I have every single photo from the day I went to the hospital to deliver my son. Like, every photo. And he's going to be 8 this year.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Wow.
No.
Don't delete them.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't delete them, but I used to take stuff off my phone and then put them on a freaking CD. But I don't use CDs anymore. So that's out.
Yeah.
SD cards, like, you can't, like, not every laptop even sells a slot with an SD card anymore. So everything freaking expires. So I'm like, I'm just gonna keep it on my phone because it's
But what if something happens? What if something happens to your phone?
Then I have to go on the cloud immediately.
Yeah,
I'm off the cloud.
So that's your backup, the cloud. Yeah.
Right now, yeah. I think I have put a few on, but they're on my old computer. That's the other thing I have sitting here, Mel. I have an old laptop, but I lost the charger, and I keep thinking the charger's going to appear somewhere. And that fucking laptop, I just want to get rid of it so bad, but I never order a new charger, and I need to get the stuff off of it before I get rid of it.
Jill, when did you lose the charger? How long has that laptop been sitting there without a charger? Tell us.
I swear I saw that charger at some point, but I've had this other laptop for probably 3, I don't know, because I had Buffalo fucking pretzels for 2 years in my cabinet, so I might have had this computer for 5 years. I have no idea.
Exactly what I was gonna say when you're like, I swear I saw that charger. I was like, yeah, probably a few years ago.
Probably easily 2 years ago. I have for sure had this thing for 3 years, if not more.
Yeah. I love the vulnerability. I'm the type of person that, like, my wife loves getting rid of stuff, and we're constantly relocating. So we're constantly kind of naturally purging every time we move. But
Yeah.
I am the person that as long as stuff is organized on like in one area, to me that's fine. But she sees it as junk, and I see it as organized junk. As long as it's organized and it has a place, like I'm good with it. So we definitely have different ideas of junk and organizing junk.
I want to redeem myself just slightly, even though it sounds like I'm a freaking mess. I actually am extremely organized. It's just that I had a roommate here for quite a long time, and she just shoved everything everywhere, and I lost the ability to keep anything organized. So once she moved, I've been like going through for the past bunch of years, and I reorganized everything. Once it is organized, I love it. I know exactly where it is. That's why I don't know where that freaking track. Like I like being organized. When I clean, it takes me about 4 hours to clean one thing because I'm like, oh, I'm going to reorganize this now. But I love it. I love how it feels. My sister
It's
used
the
to
feeling.
me.
Huh.
It's the feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was
Yeah.
little, my sister would give me a dime to organize her sock drawer like I organized mine because mine was everything was separated, everything was in perfect little sections. And yeah, she'd give me a dime if I'd organize hers the same.
Wow. Jill has been hustling since dimes were
Oh, yeah.
a big thing.
And I don't even think they were a big thing then, but it
Yeah.
apparently was to me.
It's the feeling you get after, right? When you are purging, it's again the energy of letting go of things or just simply throwing expired stuff away or donating things. But I did want to say the last pillar that you could potentially purge this spring are, and people might not like this one, but relationships.
Yeah, they're not gonna like it. People get stuck and they think they don't know how to get out.
Yeah.
I can share a story. I had of course I can. I was in a relationship that I needed to get out of. Like I was in it way past its expiration date for years. And then I actually went to like he was a holistic neurologist.
Mhm.
And as I was working with him and doing all these different exercises, and then I brought up that I was in this like bad relationship, and he's like, you need to end it. And I'm like, yeah, but this and but that. And I had all these excuses of why I was still staying in it. And he's like, I don't want to hear a single excuse. I already know the whole story just based on like the little bit that we've talked. And he said, this is why you can't think clearly. This is so big in you, and it's like just bringing your mental capacity cannot handle it. He said, I promise you, all this stuff we're doing is just a fraction of what is going to help, and it's going to take years for you to get this right. But if you don't end this relationship, then I can't help you. And I was like, whoa, like it was so real. And I took about 3 days to let it really sink in. And then I like chickened out a million times. And then finally I was like, it is the only way. And I knew it. And I always knew it, but I knew it. And he told me like, you have to do it. And then I was like, I think I even said, well, how about maybe in like in a month? I gotta like build it up. And he's like, no, like this weekend, like it needs to be done. And I was like, wow, it was so scary. And then holy crap. Talk about like purging. I could breathe so much better. I felt like I had just dropped this biggest weight off my back. It was incredible. And I could think clearer. It was the best, like one of the best things I ever was told to do in my life.
Wow.
So there you go.
Yeah. That is huge. And that's again the one that people might not like that one because like you just said, you technically had someone kind of really push you and help you through it and talk you through it. And a lot of people don't have that kind of advice around them. So everyone, this spring inventory, purge. And I did learn this exercise from the Marie Diamond Show podcast where she says, grab like 3 bags and fill them up. You could donate one, you could throw one away, and I don't know, You could donate one, you could throw one away, and you can gift the other one away. So if you want to do that exercise, go ahead.
And even if you're scared, I strongly encourage you to take my story and use it as the person pushing you to get out of a relationship that might be detrimental to your thinking, to your life, to your ability to move forward in life. Because it's big. It's scary as shit, but you will feel so much better in the long run.
Double check those pretzels before you eat them tonight. Thank you for tuning in.